He's the diplomat of diplomats, and given the sheer number of crises around the world, he certainly has his work cut out with him. Well, I'm at the European Development Days, known as Dev Days, and I'm joined by none other than UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. And your term is soon drawing to a close, so we're going to be discussing the successes that you've had, but also the challenges and priorities that remain. And it does seem that the world is in a state of paralysis at the moment, bombarded with so many different crises and events around the world. Would you say we're navigating uncharted territory at the moment?
It's true that we are living in a world of peril and many challenges, including mass movement of refugees and migrants and terrorism here and there. But at the same time, we should have a positive future. The world leaders have set out very important visions and commitments, sustainable development goals with the 17 goals and the Paris Agreement on climate change.
The Islamic State terrorist group seems to be stealing a lot of that hope. Can the United Nations play a role in dealing with this phenomenon?
In 2006, United Nations General Assembly has adopted a very ambitious and comprehensive UN global counter-terrorism strategy.
It doesn't seem to be working.
Now, my job, my priority is to make this work. That's why last month I presented to the General Assembly of the United Nations my plan of action, very comprehensive action to prevent violent extremism. It's now in the hands of member states. It's now being negotiated, and I hope that this will be adopted soon by the member state.
But if we're in this situation, though, it's because obviously the war in Syria continues, it rumbles on. The United Nations is caught between the US and Russia. Can you forge a position there to make progress in Syria?
I am asking United States and Russia as co-chair of International Syrian Support Group, ISSG, to do much more. First of all, address all these issues through a political negotiation.
But we do get the impression that the time for diplomacy is over, it's dead. There have been so many attempts. So if diplomacy doesn't work, what next?
There are three areas we have to address when it comes to all crises, including Syria. First of all, we have to address and stop this violence so that we'll be able to deliver humanitarian assistance to millions of people. We have to deliver life-saving assistance. At the same time, we have to address all these issues through inclusive political dialogue.
Do you think there'll be a breakthrough before the end of your mandate?
Our deadline is August 1st. It seems to be very ambitious. We have less than 2 months now. We have to exert all our efforts and creative and practical initiatives.
If we switch geographical locations, and we're here in Europe now, we see Europe torn apart as well by multiple crises. If Europe continues on the same course that it is now, how do you see the future of Europe?
I understand the enormity of the challenges European countries are facing, particularly caused by massive movement of refugees and migrants. This seems to be a crisis of numbers. How many thousands or tens of thousands of people, but it's a matter of global solidarity and compassion.
Which seems to be lacking these days.
It is lacking. On September 19th, I have proposed to have a summit meeting at the United Nations, and I'm sure that all the leaders of the world will come, including European leaders. We are going to, first of all, address what are the root causes of this, how we can protect the human dignity and human rights of refugees, and how to have them integrate into the society by opening up more legal pathways. And we should also appreciate the valuable contribution these refugees and migrants can provide to the communities.
When you speak of unity, one of the few times the world has been unified was with the Paris Climate Agreement. Would you say that's been the greatest achievement of your mandate?
This is, by any standard, one of the, I think, proudest moment for me, exerting all my energy and passion to have this climate change agreement. When I assumed my post as a Secretary General, there was not much discussions about this climate change. Even some of our senior staff advised me that this is too complicated, politically too risky, you may fail. At the time, I've been saying that we do not have any plan B because we do not have planet B.
Are you concerned then, for example, with the election in the United States? Could that derail it, for example, if Donald Trump were elected president? Now, he is against the Paris Agreement.
I do not want to make any comment to a presumptive one of the presidential candidates of the United States, but the debate on whether climate change is really happening or not is well over, behind.
But could the agreement be derailed?
It's over now. The world has made it quite clear that the climate change is happening much, much faster than one may expect. This is a treaty agreement and their commitment, and I'm sure that the U.S. will continue to play an important role, whoever becomes the leader.
And so finally, how do you rate your term in office? Do you think you've been a good UN Secretary General?
This will be judged by historians by the world. But as far as I'm concerned, I have been devoting all my time and energy and my passion to work together with the member states to make this world better. In terms of sustainable development, climate change, gender empowerment, and youth empowerment. This is what I have been doing, and I've been meeting all sorts of different people. I've been trying to be voice of voiceless people and defender of defenseless people around the world.
Secretary General, many thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You.
Thank you. All the best to you.
Thank you.